Yeah, welcome to Arkansas. I guess with Arkansas's four new staff additions, I think the new additions, I think the average age of those guys was around 31. Do you see any advantages, perhaps in recruiting with a staff that kind of leans toward the younger end?
Uh, with the younger coaches, I think a thing that I think is kind of advantage for them is just the ability to relate, to the athletes they're recruiting. Um, Also, those guys, just having the energy, talking to those guys, and just being out on the road, willing to hit any and every location.
Clay?
Coach, I'm curious about the background that you have with Bill Young, and seemed like that made a difference with Coach Pittman and his decision to pursue you. Just what you learned from Coach Young and your relationship with him.
So with Coach Young, I mean, Coach Young is actually, the reason why I'm in this business and here to this day. He actually recruited me at Kansas. I worked with him as a GA at Oklahoma State, and then also I worked with him at Tulsa when he first got there before he retired. I mean, he's everything to me as far as coaching wise, because he was kind of my let's see the word I'm looking for. I mean, he was that figure for me that kind of guided me and let me know how you do things, and how you're supposed to operate within the business, and dealing with players and in preparation for games and all those things. I learned the majority of most of the thing as a player and a coach from Bill Young.
Tom?
Coach, 6'5", 260 is what they got on you. I wonder, you still fit that bill, and also just your what you've seen of the Arkansas D lineman that you're in your room right now.
First question: 6'5", 260. Yeah, that was probably about 15 years ago. I've had a couple meals since then, so I wish I was at 260 again. But the thing with the D line here is, one, I see it's some youth, but it's a group of guys that's willing to work, that's hungry for knowledge and understanding, within football in general, and a lot of determination to prove themselves.
Trey Biddy?
Yeah, Coach, you obviously got some recruiting connections in DFW and junior college in Tulsa. Where all do you see yourself as a recruiter?
As far as location?
Yes.
I mean, honestly, wherever Coach Pittman asked me to be, and recruiting at Tulsa, and also when I was, at the junior college. So I've obviously was all over Texas. At Tulsa, I had parts of Louisiana. I've had the junior colleges all over the country, and Houston, San Antonio, the Metroplex, Central Texas. I've kind of been all over.
Hutch?
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, you said the Coach Young kind of tied there, but Coach Guyton, Coach Scher, Coach Kenny, these other new coaches all coached with someone on staff. You don't have an obvious connection like that. So, what kind of drew you to Arkansas?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, the opportunity, and with Coach Odom and Coach Pittman. I mean, the people that I knew that really had a relationship with those guys spoke very highly of them, and had nothing but great things to say about them. And me being a person in this profession, when you can surround yourself by great men and great people, I think you're putting yourself at an advantage for success.
Alyssa?
Hello, Coach. Welcome. As we talk about SEC football, they always talk about, winning in the trenches and playing physical in this league. And so as you take over this defensive line room, what is your look for what these guys should look like, how they should play, how they should execute on Saturdays?
I mean, first and foremost, as a D lineman, I mean, regardless of conference, but as a D lineman, I think you should be demanding, physical, and aggressive type demeanor as you play.
Let me know if you've got more questions in the chat. Bob?
Hey, Coach, how you doing? I guess you guys are already used to fighting Mississippi State with that bowl game. How crazy was that? I know, obviously, it wasn't anything anybody wants, and how do you feel about, Sam said one of the reasons for the staff changes was Arkansas's got to recruit at a higher level. And, the SEC West, you can finish 20th in the country and be 10th in the SEC or something. So what do you think you can do to help raise the recruiting level?
I mean, I think the biggest thing with that is just, identify the guys and go after the guys that, that fit the mold of, SEC players. I mean, a lot of that for myself, I think is just the development and the maturation of athletes.
Otis?
Coach, welcome to Arkansas. What's been your impressions of Coach Odom? I know you'll be working for him, and Barry Odom. What's your impressions of him?
With Coach Odom, he's a very sharp, brilliant individual. He's also, I mean, he's a great man. And in my time with him, he's a person that loves to, develop, the people around them, coaches and players. And I think, that's one of the things that I'm extremely excited about, is just the opportunity to, be with someone that can help myself really progress in this profession.
Nate?
Well, hopefully it hadn't been asked this. I got kicked off the internet briefly, but as far as recruiting in Arkansas, have you, being at Tulsa over there, have you recruited this state much in the past?
I've spot recruited a couple of athletes that that we were recruiting at Tulsa, but other than that, I have not.
Thanks.
Clay?
Coach Ashley, just your idea of what it takes to be a pass rusher, and that appears to be something that that Coach Pittman wanted to upgrade. And you look at the numbers last year, and there just weren't a lot of sacks. Just what's it take to be a pass rusher?
I think the number one thing that it takes to be a great pass rusher is understanding, and that's more along the lines of understanding, the goals that you're trying to accomplish, understanding how to attack the person that you're going against, understanding that person's weaknesses and how to take advantage of them. And I mean, I think, that's the biggest thing when it comes to pass rush, just knowing how to attack the person that you're lined up against.
Last one, Bob.
I can't help it. I'm a Mizzou grad, and they got a lot of Mizzou people on that defense with Barry and Sam and Michael, and you're a Jayhawk. What's that going to be like working with all those Mizzou guys?
Well, I believe it's going to be great because although, places are very important, the people that's at those places are extremely important as well.
Okay, thanks.
All right, that'll wrap us up with Coach Ashley.